Hey y'all, what's up? It's me, Miss Ruby. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, just to let you know, I have a ton of hair tutorials available for you to watch from home. Learn everything that you need to know about how to manage your own hair, from braids and weaves to natural curls. I'm starting a new self-care journey that I hope to be able to educate and inspire you guys with in the near future. But in this video, we're gonna talk about how to take your weave down. Now, just a heads up, this video was recorded like 5 or 6 years ago, already uploaded on my channel, but I'm re-uploading it because I think it's very useful today. Real quick before we get into the tutorial, I just wanted to give you guys a couple of updates. Number one, after you see me taking my weave out, taking my net out, and taking my braids out, you're going to see me talk about washing my hair with a shampoo. Now, the shampoo that I used was more of a moisturizing shampoo, and I highly recommend you choose something different. After your hair has been tied up for 2, 3, 4 months, you don't need to go in with any more added oils. You want to actually wash away a lot of that buildup so that you can get rid of the old and you can replenish with the new. So I highly recommend that you use a cleansing shampoo instead. The second update I'll give you is that if you're gonna follow my tips on straightening your hair after you take your weave out, then I highly recommend you check out my other video where I talk about how I went from curly to straight safely. In that video, I show you guys step by step what I did to be able to protect my natural hair from heat damage when straightening it. So I highly recommend that you check that video out. And if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments below, because this video, like I said, is quite a few years old. So there may be some dated information and I wanna make sure that you're updated. So without further ado, I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. Stay safe, stay prayed up, and do whatever you can do to stay healthy right now, okay? Mwah. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Miss Ruby. This video is going to show you how I properly take down my hair after wearing a sew-in weave, and how I do it with love so that my hair remains healthy and beautiful. Now, I've had this weave in for 3.5 months, which I know is kind of crazy, but I did install it in a way that made it very easy for me to keep it in. So good that most people told me I should have kept it in longer. So let's get started. First things first, we're going to cut this weave out. I have a razor and a pair of hair cutting shears. Now, typically when I take weaves out for my clients, I use a razor. It makes the process much faster, but my visibility is different with cutting my own weave out, so I'm going to use these scissors. I'm going to go through and I'm going to feel around for the knot that is tying this all down. Then I'm going to go through, as I'm taking the weft out, I'm going to continue to feel for thread. There should be a clear distinction with your fingers from the hair weft and the thread. So anytime you feel thread, feel free to cut it out. Also, as you're cutting, I would recommend, since you're taking your own weave down, that in order to minimize cutting, you just kind of pull thread through. Now, the way that I install my weaves is I'll loop it a few times and then I'll put a knot. So there should be at least a few times you'll be able to pull and get that thread out to minimize the amount of times you have to cut, only because you can't see and there's always that possibility of cutting in the wrong place, cutting your weft, or even worse, cutting your hair. So I do have a net on. Be very, very careful when you're cutting your net out, because this is when you can really cut your hair. If you can, get your husband, your girlfriend, your daughter, somebody who has better visibility than you to cut this net out. After taking your net out, if you're wearing one, then it's time to unbraid your hair. Now, here's when I start to get more instructional. My hair tends to loosen up and get softer with water. So I'm going to use this spray bottle and I'm going to spray my hair down before I begin to unbraid it. Some of you may choose to use oil or a conditioner. Whatever you need to do to loosen your hair up, do that. Take down your braids with care. The faster that you take your braids down and the less careful you are, the more likely your braids are to knot at the ends, and the harder it's going to be to take down, thereby causing unnecessary amounts of additional breakage. If you've had your weave up for a long duration of time, you're going to have breakage. That's just a fact. But we want to minimize that with this process. So that's what I'm doing. I finally get it all down, and this is the stage I love because it looks like I have a braid out. It looks amazing. Like, I could wear this, I could pin it up. But the problem is it stinks and it's very flaky, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to spray it down some more with water though, and I'm going to comb from the ends up. And every once in a while, I get to a part that is tangled. To detangle that, I spray some more water on it, and I kind of like work through it with my fingers, softly rubbing it, because when you get frustrated and you just grab that comb, and that comb is thin tooth, and you're just like pulling away, you're ripping your hair out unnecessarily. So use a wide tooth comb, as wide as you can, for the first process of combing this through, and use as much water and care with your fingers as you can. I'm doing this to prepare my hair for my pre-wash conditioner, where I will be using the organic coconut oil. What I do for this conditioner is I take the oil, I warm it up a little bit in the microwave or whatever, and then after my hair, I go section by section and make sure that my hair is properly hydrated with water. It doesn't have to be dripping wet, but I do want it to be somewhat moist. So then I'm going to go through with the coconut oil, kind of dip my hands in the bowl and just rub that into my hair. I'm also going to comb it out a little bit just to smooth it. Now I haven't fully combed my hair out because, as you saw, when I got close to the root during the comb out process, it got a little tougher. Well, what I want to do is I want to apply this coconut oil to my ends and to my roots, and I want to massage that into my scalp, and I want it to penetrate so that when I go in and I comb it next time, it's easier with less breakage. So once I get my entire head lathered up with this coconut oil, I'm going to wrap it up, put a cap on, and leave that on for at least 30 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll be cooking, cleaning, whatever. So I'm back now, and I'm going to take this off. Now, like I said, this was a pre-wash conditioner. It's just very, very oily. So now it's time to wash my hair out. The shampoo that I'm using, as you can see, it does not set up like typical shampoos because it is all natural. That's fine. But I'm just giving you an example of how I wash. I do like to scrub my scalp. There's a whole lot of flakes in my hair right now, so I'm going to wash my hair like 2 or 3 times before moving on to conditioning. And when I condition, because I'm just coming out of a weave, this is the best time to do a deep conditioner in your hair. Then I'm going to take it section by section and apply this deep conditioner. By the way, I love the way this deep conditioner smells and feels. So make sure you check that review out if you want some more details on this, okay? So I'm just applying that from roots to ends and combing it a little bit because this deep conditioner is going to set in my hair for like 30 minutes. So the less tangled that it is, the more that it's going to be able to penetrate every single strand of hair. So I'm going to do that, then wrap that up and put the cap back on and go do some more cooking and cleaning or whatever I'm going to do. Now I'm going to apply some of this emu oil. I hope I pronounced that right, but this is the oil that I got from the Cherokee Naturals line. It's EMU oil. I'm not going to apply too much because I'm getting ready to blow dry and flat iron my hair. Now if you're about to go straight into a natural style, by all means, apply as much oil as you wish. Oil is wonderful for your hair. So I'm just going to apply just a little bit just to kind of like soften it up before I, yet again, comb it. And I'm going to prepare it for a blow dry. I would recommend spraying a little bit of heat protectant on if you're going to use high heat. If you're not going to use high heat, that emu oil should be enough to protect your hair from the heat. I'm not using extremely high heat on this blow dry. Now that it's all done, I'm just so in love because I haven't had a chance to enjoy my hair in some months now. So I am in love, but I see these ends and they look really bad. So now we're going to get into cutting your ends. Yes, I'd recommend going to a professional to get your ends trimmed and to proceed with flat ironing your hair. But if you're going to do it at home yourself, here's how I do it. I take it section by section and I kind of comb through it with a finer tooth comb. Pull it as far to the ends as I can, and it should be very obvious where the dead ends are. Now, I have a whole lot of dead ends. I'm not going to cut all of them off. In this video, you're going to see me cut about ½ an inch. Make sure that you're pulling your hair out at somewhat of a 90-degree angle, and that then you're pulling it closer to you without letting it loosen up, like hold it tightly between your fingers. So when you pull it closer to you, you can see what you're doing, but you're not compromising the angle that you just created. And then just cut up with your hair shears. And do that evenly, like section by section going through. That way you can get rid of some of your dead ends. That's what I'm doing here. Then I'm going to apply some heat protectant spray, and then I'm going to begin to flat iron. Once I flat iron my hair, I'm able to feel a little bit more deadness than I want, and that's when I went through and cut a little bit more out as well. So as you'll notice, when I'm flat ironing my hair, I'm doing it section by section, trying to get close to the roots, but because I'm not trying to do a hard press, I'm not getting it extremely straight at the root. Me personally, I like that because my hair is very thin when it gets straight. and a little bit of added volume underneath it all isn't so bad. And that's it. So I finally have my hair out. It has been properly combed through, pre-washed, conditioned, washed, deep conditioned, trimmed, and now it is straightened. I recommend you do this every single time you take your weave down. Like I said, you don't have to straighten it if you're staying away from heat. I don't put much heat on my hair either. But if you are going to straighten it, just make sure that you take the proper steps to protect your hair. After all, you're paying all that hard-earned money and doing all that hard work to go into a weave or into braids to protect your hair. So give yourself a little bit of time, give your hair a little TLC when taking it out so that you protect your investment. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. They're on the way. God bless you all, and make sure you ask any questions in the comments below. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.